Hi, English learners. Welcome back to English Daily Learning Podcast, where real conversations make everyday English feel easier. I'm Mia, and today we're talking about something everyone needs, but many people avoid.
And I'm Leo. We are talking about asking for help without sounding demanding, helpless, or uncomfortable.
That sounds simple, but asking for help can feel surprisingly personal.
Yes, sometimes we know the right words, but we still wait too long to say them.
We struggle alone, become stressed, and then ask when the problem is already much bigger.
Or we ask so indirectly that the other person does not realize we need anything.
In this episode, we will explore natural requests in friendships, work, public places, customer service, and difficult situations.
We will also talk about tone, timing, clear details, and how to respond when the answer is no.
This is a conversation, not a list of sentences to repeat.
So get comfortable, listen naturally, and notice how the same request changes in different situations.
Leo, why do you think people find it difficult to ask for help?
One reason is that we want to look capable. We do not want others to think we are weak.
Especially at work. People may worry that one question will make them look unprepared.
Staying silent can create a much larger problem than asking one clear question.
Another reason is fear of rejection. A no can feel personal even when it is not.
Right. The other person may simply be busy, tired, or unable to help with that particular task.
Some people also grew up believing that good people should solve everything alone.
Yet asking for help is part of normal cooperation. Families, teams, and communities depend on it.
There is also a language problem. Learners sometimes know, "help me," but it feels too direct.
Then they create a very long introduction and hide the actual request at the end.
A natural request does not need to be cold, but it does need to be visible.
The goal is not to make yourself smaller. The goal is to make cooperation easier.
Let us begin with a simple structure that works in many situations.
First, give a small amount of context. Second, make the request clearly. Third, leave space for an answer.
For example, "I'm having trouble opening this file. Could you take a quick look when you have a minute?"
The context is short. The request is specific. And when you have a minute, respects the other person's time.
Another example is, "I need to move this table. Would you mind helping me for a second?"
You do not need a 5-minute story about why the table is heavy.
A clear request often feels more respectful because the listener knows what you are asking.
Then they can decide whether they have the time, ability, or information to help.
We can remember the structure as context, request, and space.
Context explains the situation. The request names the action. Space allows a real yes or no.
If one of those parts is missing, the request may feel confusing or demanding.
But you can change the length and formality, depending on the relationship and situation.
Learners often ask which word is the most polite. Can, could, or would.
Can you help me? Is normal and friendly in many everyday situations.
Could you help me? Sounds slightly softer and gives the request a little more distance.
Would you mind helping me? Is softer again, but it can sound too formal for a tiny favor between close friends.
So politeness does not come from choosing the longest possible sentence.
Exactly. Tone, timing, and the size of the request matter just as much.
If I am carrying 2 bags, I might say, "Can you get the door?"
That is perfectly polite when your voice is warm and the situation is obvious.
If I am asking a coworker to review a document, "Could you look at this before Thursday?" feels more suitable.
And for a larger request, you might begin with, "Would you be able to help me with something?"
Notice that "would you be able to" checks both willingness and practical ability.
Choose the phrase that fits the relationship, not the phrase that sounds most impressive.
A common problem is asking for help without explaining what help actually means.
Someone says, "Can you help me with my presentation?" That could mean 5 minutes or 5 hours.
A better request is, "Could you check the first 3 slides and tell me if the main idea is clear?"
Now the task has a clear size, purpose, and stopping point.
Specific requests are easier to accept because they feel manageable.
They are also easier to decline honestly. The listener knows exactly what they cannot do.
Instead of "help me move," say, "Could you help me carry these 2 boxes downstairs?"
Instead of, "I need help with English," say, "Could you explain what this sentence means in this email?"
Clear details also prevent disappointment. You are less likely to receive the wrong kind of help.
Include the action, the time, and the result when those details matter.
Could you call the hotel today and ask whether late check-in is possible? Is very clear.
The more important the request, the more useful a clear boundary becomes.
Sometimes the request is simple, but the timing may be bad.
That is when a small timing question can make the conversation smoother.
You can say, "Do you have a minute?" Or, "Is now a bad time?"
I especially like, "Is now a bad time?" because it makes an honest answer easy.
If the person is busy, they can say, "I'm in the middle of something. Can we talk after lunch?"
Then your need is not rejected. The conversation is simply moved to a better time.
For a longer request, try, "When would be a good time to go over this together?"
That is more respectful than appearing beside someone's desk and beginning a 20-minute explanation.
But do not ask whether they are free and then hide the size of the request.
Yes. "Do you have a second?" should not secretly mean, "Can you spend your entire evening on this?"
Be honest about the likely time. "Could I get 10 minutes of your help this afternoon?"
Accurate expectations build trust, especially when you ask the same people for help regularly.
With friends, requests can be relaxed, but they still need respect.
You might say, "Hey, could you do me a quick favor?"
Then name the favor immediately. "Could you pick up my package if you pass the front desk?"
A friend should not have to say yes before discovering what the favor is.
Another natural phrase is, "Any chance you could give me a ride to the station?"
Any chance sounds casual and leaves plenty of room for no.
You can add a practical limit, only if you're already going that way.
That shows you're thinking about the cost to the other person.
If the favor is larger, acknowledge it. "I know this is a big ask."
Then be specific about what you need and when you need it.
Friendship does not remove the need for boundaries. It should make honest communication easier.
A warm request and a comfortable no are both signs of a healthy friendship.
Asking a stranger for help usually needs a brief opening.
"Excuse me" is often enough. Then move directly to the request.
"Excuse me, could you tell me which platform the airport train leaves from?"
That is polite, clear, and easy to answer.
If someone seems busy, add, "Sorry to bother you."
But you do not need to apologize 5 times for asking one normal question.
In a crowded place, you might say, "Excuse me, could you help me lift this bag onto the rack?"
Notice that you are asking for one visible action, not general help.
Keep a little physical distance and use a calm voice.
If they say no or look uncomfortable, thank them and ask someone else.
Do not follow them with a longer explanation to convince them.
A respectful request includes respect for the answer.
Directions are one of the most common reasons to ask a stranger for help.
Start with what you are trying to find. "Could you point me toward the city museum?"
If you are unsure about a route, say, "Am I going the right way for Central Station?"
That question is easier than asking someone to explain the entire city.
On public transport, try, "Could you let me know when we reach King Street?"
Or, "Do I need to change trains to get to the airport?"
When you do not understand the answer, do not pretend.
Say, "Sorry, did you say the second stop or the third stop?"
You can also confirm the final step. "So I turn left after the bank, right?"
Confirmation is useful because directions often include several small details.
End with a simple, "Thank you, that really helps."
Short, clear, and natural is usually best in public places.
In service situations, people sometimes become too direct because they are paying.
But politeness still makes the interaction easier for everyone.
At a cafe, you can say, "Could I get a little more hot water, please?"
At a shop, "Could you help me find this in a smaller size?"
At a hotel, "Would it be possible to check in a little earlier?"
Would it be possible? Works well when the answer depends on availability or policy.
If something is wrong, describe the problem before demanding a solution.
"I think there may be a mistake on the bill. Could you take a look?"
That sounds much better than, "You charged me wrong, fix it."
Even when you are frustrated, a clear, neutral opening often gets faster results.
If the first solution does not work, you can ask, "Is there another option?"
Polite does not mean passive. You can stay calm and still be firm about the problem.
Workplace requests need clarity because people have different tasks and deadlines.
Begin with context that explains why you chose that person.
"You worked with this client last month. Could I ask you a quick question about their reporting format?"
That shows your request has a reason and is not random.
You can also show what you have already tried.
I checked the guide in the shared folder, but I still can't find the latest template.
Then make the request. Do you know where it is saved?
This prevents the other person from repeating basic steps you already completed.
For a review request, include the deadline. Could you check this by 3 if your schedule allows?
And explain the focus. I mainly need feedback on the numbers, not the design.
A focused request saves time for both people.
It also shows that you respect your coworkers' expertise rather than treating them as extra labor.
Asking a manager for help can feel risky because of the power difference.
But managers need to know when priorities, resources, or instructions are unclear.
Try, could we clarify which part should be finished first?
That sounds solution-focused. You're not simply saying, I can't do this.
If your workload is too heavy, explain the trade-off.
I can finish the report today or update the client file, but I may not complete both, which should take priority.
That is a request for direction, not a complaint.
When you need training, say, could someone show me the correct process before I submit this?
It is better to ask before a serious mistake than after one.
You can also request resources. Is there an example I could use as a reference?
Managers cannot solve a problem they cannot see.
A short, specific request helps them support you without taking over your entire task.
What if the person who can help is clearly busy?
Acknowledge what you see and offer timing choices.
I can see you're busy. Could I ask you about this later today?
Or, this isn't urgent. When would be a better time?
If it is urgent, explain why without creating drama.
The client call starts in 20 minutes, and I'm missing the access code.
Then make the smallest useful request. Could you tell me where the code is stored?
Do not hand the entire problem to them if one piece of information will unblock you.
You can also ask for another person. If you're tied up, is there someone else I should contact?
That keeps the work moving without pressuring one individual.
Respecting someone's workload makes them more willing to help when it truly matters.
Good teamwork is not constant availability. It is clear coordination.
Sometimes you ask clearly, but the person does not answer.
Before assuming they are ignoring you, consider the channel and the timing.
A message may be buried. A gentle follow-up can be completely reasonable.
Just following up on my message from yesterday, would you have time to look at this today?
If there is a deadline, include it. I need to send the final version by 4.
That gives the follow-up a practical reason.
Avoid sending question marks, repeated calls, or hello every 10 minutes.
Those messages add pressure without adding useful information.
If the person still does not respond, find another route when possible.
I know you may be unavailable, so I'm also checking with the support team.
A follow-up should clarify urgency, not punish someone for being busy.
Calm persistence is more effective than emotional pressure.
Many learners begin every request with a long apology.
I'm so sorry. I know this is terrible and I feel really bad, but maybe...
By the time the request arrives, the listener may already feel worried.
One simple phrase is enough. Sorry to interrupt, or thanks for taking a moment.
Gratitude can sometimes replace apology. Thanks for helping me check this. Feels confident and warm.
Of course, apologize if you caused a real inconvenience or missed an agreed deadline.
But needing information is not automatically a mistake.
Asking for reasonable help is part of work, travel, friendship, and daily life.
A request can be polite without sounding ashamed.
Keep your voice steady, name what you need, and allow the other person to respond.
Confidence does not mean expecting a yes.
It means treating your need and the other person's choice with equal respect.
We have reached the middle of our conversation, so let us pause for one quick idea.
A good request is clear enough to answer and small enough to understand.
If this kind of real-life English is useful, you can like the episode and subscribe while we keep talking.
Nothing stops here. The conversation, captions, and examples continue as normal.
So far, we have used context, a specific request, and space for an honest answer.
We have also matched the phrase to the relationship, timing, and size of the favor.
Next, let us move into customer service, online communication, misunderstandings, and emotional support.
These situations require different language, but the same basic respect remains.
Customer service conversations often begin when something has already gone wrong.
That is why structure matters. Start with the account or order, then the problem, then the result you need.
I'm calling about order 4821. It arrived damaged. Could you help me arrange a replacement?
The agent immediately knows what to check.
If you do not know the correct solution, ask about options.
What would be the best way to fix this? Or what options are available?
If the explanation is too fast, say, "Could you walk me through that one step at a time?"
That is better than saying yes and ending the call without understanding the next.
You can confirm responsibility. "Is there anything I need to send you?"
And confirm timing. When should I expect the replacement to arrive?
If the first person cannot help, ask calmly, "Could you connect me with someone who handles refunds?"
Firm, clear language works better than attacking the person who answered the call.
Requests can be harder on calls because facial expressions and gestures may be limited.
Use names and clear transitions so people know who should respond.
Jordan, could you share the latest numbers when you have them?
In a group call, that is clearer than asking, "Can someone send me the numbers?"
If you need technical help, describe what you see.
My screen is frozen on the login page. Could someone tell me whether the meeting has started?
When audio is poor, say, "Could you move a little closer to your microphone?"
Or, "I'm losing a few words. Would you mind repeating the last point?"
If you need time, ask for it directly. "Could we come back to me in 2 minutes?"
That is more professional than disappearing without explanation.
End with a clear next step. "Could you send the file in the chat before we finish?"
On calls, short sentences reduce confusion.
Written requests need enough context because tone is harder to hear.
A useful message often has 3 short parts: reason, request, deadline.
"I'm updating tomorrow's schedule. Could you confirm your arrival time by 5 today?"
That is direct, but not rude.
For a friend, you can sound more casual. "Could you send me the address when you get a chance?"
Avoid writing only address, unless that style is already normal between you.
In email, put the request where the reader can see it quickly.
Do not hide it after 4 paragraphs of background.
If there are several requests, use separate sentences or short bullets.
And identify which one is most urgent.
A useful closing is, "Please let me know if this timing does not work."
That creates space for an honest response instead of assuming agreement.
One of the most important requests in English is admitting that you did not understand.
Many learners smile, nod, and hope the missing information was not important.
Try, "Sorry, I didn't catch the last part."
Or, "Could you say that again a little more slowly?"
If one word is unclear, ask about that word.
What does processing fee mean here?
If the idea is unclear, ask for another explanation.
Could you explain that in a different way?
You can request an example. "Could you give me a quick example of what you mean?"
Examples often make abstract instructions much easier.
Asking for clarification is not a failure in communication.
It is one of the tools that makes communication successful.
Repeating, rephrasing, and confirming are 3 different kinds of help.
Could you repeat that? Asks for the same words again.
"Could you rephrase that?" Asks for different words with the same meaning.
Could you confirm that I understood correctly? Checks your interpretation.
Imagine someone says, "The payment is due at the end of the following business day."
You might say, "Just to confirm, does that mean Tuesday by 5?
Now both people can catch a misunderstanding before it becomes a problem.
At work, summarize the action. So I'll update the figures and you'll send the final email.
In travel, confirm the location. "So the bus leaves from outside Terminal 2?
Confirmation is especially useful when numbers, dates, names, or directions are involved.
It may take 10 seconds, but it can save an hour later.
Clear communication is not about understanding everything instantly.
Emergency language is different because speed and safety are more important than softness.
Use a strong opening. "I need help," or "Please call an ambulance."
Then give the essential facts: location, danger, number of people, and immediate need.
"We're on the 2nd floor. Someone has fallen and cannot stand."
In an emergency, direct language is not rude.
You can point to a specific person. "You in the blue jacket, please call emergency services."
That is more effective than shouting, "Somebody do something."
If you are lost or unsafe, say it clearly. "I'm lost, and my phone battery is almost dead."
Ask for one practical action. "Could I use your phone to call my hotel?"
If language is difficult, use short sentences and repeat the key information.
Safety comes first. Politeness can be simple and direct.
The goal is immediate understanding, not perfect grammar.
Not every request for help is practical. Sometimes we need someone to listen.
But "I need help" can still be too broad if the other person does not know what role to take.
You can say, "Could I talk something through with you?"
Then explain what you need. I'm not looking for advice yet. I just need someone to listen.
That sentence can prevent a lot of frustration.
If you do want ideas, say, could you help me think through my options?
If you need company, ask directly. Would you stay with me for a little while?
Emotional requests can feel vulnerable, so choose a person who has the capacity to respond safely.
It is also okay to ask about timing. Do you have the energy for a serious conversation tonight?
That respects both people's emotional limits.
Clear emotional requests do not remove vulnerability.
They give vulnerability a safer shape.
Larger requests need more detail because they create more risk or responsibility.
If you borrow something, name the item, purpose, and return time.
Could I borrow your camera for Saturday afternoon? I'll return it Sunday morning.
If the item is valuable, offer care and responsibility without being asked.
I'll keep it in the case, and I'll replace anything if it gets damaged.
Money requests need even more honesty.
I'm short on rent this month. Would you be comfortable lending me $200 until the 15th?
That is a serious request, so the other person needs real space to say no.
Do not use guilt, friendship history, or urgency to remove their choice.
If possible, offer another option. If lending money isn't comfortable, could you help me look at short-term solutions?
A respectful request protects the relationship even when the answer is no.
And if someone helps, follow the agreement exactly.
Asking well also means receiving the answer well.
If someone says, I'm sorry, I can't, begin with acceptance.
No problem. Thanks for letting me know.
You may ask one practical follow-up. Do you know anyone else I could ask?
But do not keep changing the request until the person feels forced to agree.
A no to one request is not necessarily a no to you as a person.
If you feel disappointed, handle that feeling without punishing the listener.
You can take a breath, thank them, and make another plan.
When people know their no will be respected, they can give more honest yeses.
That makes future cooperation healthier.
Respecting a boundary is part of asking for help politely.
The request ends when the other person has answered.
The same words can sound warm, nervous, impatient, or demanding.
A calm pace and relaxed face usually make a request easier to receive.
Avoid speaking so quietly that the listener must guess what you want.
And avoid adding a sharp, okay, at the end, which can sound like pressure.
Eye contact, distance, and gestures also change across cultures.
In some places, direct requests feel efficient. In others, a little context feels more respectful.
You do not need to copy every cultural habit perfectly.
Watch how people around you make similar requests and notice what feels normal.
When unsure, use clear words, a warm tone, and room for a real answer.
Those three choices travel well across many cultures.
Politeness is not a single phrase.
It is the relationship between your words, your tone, and the freedom you give the other person.
Let us hear a complete conversation between two friends.
I'll ask for help, and you can respond naturally. Hey, do you have a minute to talk about Saturday?
Sure. What's going on?
My car is still at the repair shop, and I need to pick up a desk from the furniture store.
Okay.
Any chance you could drive me there around 11? The whole trip should take about 40 minutes.
I can't do 11 because I have an appointment, but I could go around 2.
2 would actually work. Are you sure?
Yes, as long as the desk fits in my car.
I checked the size. It comes in 2 flat boxes, and the store staff can help us load them.
Great. Send me the address, and I'll meet you at your place at 2.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll buy the coffee.
Notice how the request included the reason, time, and likely duration.
And when the first time did not work, the answer became a practical alternative instead of an uncomfortable conflict.
Now let us hear a workplace conversation.
This time you need help from a coworker who is already busy.
Leo, I can see you're working on the client report. Is now a bad time for a quick question?
I have about 5 minutes. What do you need?
I'm preparing the budget summary, and 2 figures in the shared file do not match.
Which figures?
The travel total on page 3 and the total in the spreadsheet. I checked the invoices, but I still cannot find the difference.
Could you send me the spreadsheet link?
Yes. Would you be able to look at those 2 cells before the meeting at 3?
I can check them after I finish this paragraph, probably in 20 minutes.
That works. I do not need a full review, only confirmation of which total is current.
Perfect. Add a comment beside the cells so I can find them quickly.
I'll do that now. Thanks for fitting it in.
This request worked because the task stayed focused, and the deadline was visible.
The coworker did not need to take over the budget. He only needed to remove 1 block. Before we close, let us organize a few useful patterns by situation.
For a small everyday favor, can you give me a hand with this?
For a polite, general request, could you help me with something?
For timing, is now a bad time? Or when would be a good time?
For a larger favor, would you be able to help me on Saturday?
For public information, excuse me, could you tell me where this train goes?
For work, could you check these 2 points before the meeting?
For clarification, could you explain that in a different way?
For customer service, could you help me understand what my options are?
For emotional support, could I talk something through with you?
For an emergency, I need help. Please call emergency services.
And when the answer is no, no problem. Thanks for letting me know.
Before our final thoughts, let us look at a few situations where the first request that comes to mind may not be the best one.
Good idea. We can compare a vague request with a clearer version and notice what changes.
Imagine that your internet stops working 5 minutes before an online meeting.
You could message a coworker and say, "My internet is broken, help."
They understand that something is wrong, but they do not know what action you need.
A clearer message is, "My internet just went down. Could you tell the team I may join 5 minutes late?"
Now the coworker has one small, immediate action. They do not need to repair your internet.
Here is another situation. You are at a train station, and the information screen is confusing.
Excuse me, I'm trying to get to Central Station. Could you show me which platform I need?
That works better than asking, "Where do I go?" because the destination is included.
Next, imagine that a form at work contains a term you do not understand.
A weak request might be, "Can you explain this form?"
That could mean 10 minutes of work or an hour of work.
A focus version is, "Could you explain what billing contact means in this section?"
The other person can answer quickly, and you can continue by yourself.
Now, let us consider a more personal example. You have had a difficult day, and you want to talk to a friend.
Saying, "I need you," may sound serious, but it does not tell the friend whether you need advice, company, or immediate help.
You might say, "I've had a rough day. Do you have 10 minutes to listen? I don't need advice right now."
That request is emotionally honest and also very kind to the listener.
It tells them what happened, how much time you are asking for, and what kind of support would help.
Finally, imagine that you need help carrying boxes, but your neighbor looks busy.
Instead of saying, "Can you help me move everything?" make the task smaller.
Would you be able to help me carry these 2 boxes downstairs? It should take about 5 minutes.
Specific size and time make a favor easier to evaluate.
And if the neighbor says no, you still have useful information. You can ask someone else or change your plan.
These examples show an important principle. Good requests reduce uncertainty.
They answer the listener's quiet questions. What happened? What exactly do you need? How long will it take? When do you need it?
You do not need to answer every question in every request.
But when a detail helps someone decide or act, include it.
Clear details do not make a request less warm. They often make it easier to say yes.
Asking for help is not about finding one perfect, polite sentence.
It is about making your need understandable while respecting the other person's time and choice.
Give a little context, name the specific action, and leave room for an honest answer.
Match the language to the relationship, the timing, and the size of the request.
Show what you have already tried when that information is useful.
Accept clarification, alternatives, delays, and no without turning the request into pressure.
The more clearly you ask, the easier it becomes for someone to offer the right kind of help.
And the more calmly you receive the answer, the safer future cooperation becomes.
If this episode made everyday English feel more practical, like the video and subscribe for more real-life conversations.
The final subscribe animation will appear while we continue speaking, without interrupting the audio or captions.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
Take care of yourself. Ask clearly when you need support. And we'll talk again soon.
Bye for now.